Hello, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable weekend for you in this one. NFL Week 2, Sunday and Monday edition. Hopefully you guys got on the Thursday night plays. Packers and under covers easily first quarter, first half, and game. Monster one there. So hopefully you guys got a piece of all that for Thursday night. Now we get on to the Sunday and Monday. We got two Monday night games, a pretty good slate of games. Nothing like week one. Week one was terrific. There was so many ridiculous games in week one, but week two has got some good stuff as well, highlighted by the Eagles and the Chiefs game, I think, for the weekend. And somehow it's not a primetime game. Go figure. All right. First of all, if you're new to our show, welcome. We are brought to you every episode here on YouTube by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. 7-day free trial. They are so confident that you're going to love it. They're going to give you 7 days to try it out for free. All you have to do is go to our YouTube channel page or the comment section of every YouTube episode that we do and check it out. There's a link there. 7-day free trial, Outlier. They give you great bets that hit at big time rates. They let you know where all the money's coming in on the books. Odd shop for you. Store multiple bets from multiple books in one spot. Never really have to leave the app if you don't want to. They have a couple different versions. If you're big into analytics, they have even a better version just than their regular. So it's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Check it out. 7-day free trial. Also, Discord channel available for all of you out there as well. Well over a couple hundred members. If you don't want to do all the data research yourself and just want us to do it for you and give you a personalized betting plan too, if you want that as well, you can do that in the Outlier. All you have to, or not Outlier, you can do that in the Discord. Check that out. You can also find it in the comment section of every episode that we do, as well as our YouTube channel page here at Sports Bets for Free. All right, let's get started. NFL Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern games. Let's rock and roll, shall we? We're going to get Buffalo Bills, New York Jets. Jets at home getting 6.5, 6.5 total. Now, remember, we are recording this on Thursday night, Friday, so lines might adjust by the time you see it. But just to give you a heads up here, we love the Jets in this particular one. This game is normally close when the game's in New York. That's where this one, or New Jersey, I guess I should say. That's where this one is. Bills fans, I still think you're probably going to win, but I think you win by a field goal to 6. I think 6.5 is a little bit too much in this particular one. Here's my fear for the Bills. You couldn't stop running game at all against Baltimore. Guess what? New York probably does better than, not better than Baltimore, but does pretty well. They run the ball. You have a lot of injuries on the defensive side. We did take the Bills in week 1, and we got lucky. Did not expect them to come back. I thought we were going to win the first quarter and lose the half in game. Instead, we've got first quarter in game and lost the half. Baltimore looked unstoppable, but Baltimore does what Baltimore does and shoot themselves in the foot. Not to say that the Jets won't do the same thing here, but you got to remember, Bills only won by 1 in that game, and they were at home where they have a monster advantage. Like the Jets plus the 6.5 here, let's give you all the bets that we've got for this game here. Jets plus a half first quarter, 3.5 first half, 6.5 for the game. Breece Hall, 58 plus rush yards. James Cook, 58 plus rush yards. Justin Fields, 44 plus rush yards. Garrett Wilson, 6 plus receptions. And Garrett Wilson, 60 plus receiving yards. Don't know what to do quite yet with Josh Allen. He didn't run the ball a ton. They had to throw it a bunch. I think they're going to want to run the ball more here. I don't think they want to quite throw it as much as they did in the game against the Ravens. So maybe Josh runs a little bit more, but didn't want to play anything too much Josh related yet. It won't be too long, and I'm sure we'll be all over some Josh Allen props, right? Next game up, Giants, Cowboys. This game down to 4.5 for some ridiculous reason. I don't know why. To be really honest here, total in this game currently sitting around that 44.5 ballpark, mainly because the Giants can't score. At least they couldn't against the Commanders defense. And I think we kind of saw the Commanders defense is a decent defense, but not great, not outstanding, but they couldn't score against that defense. There was pressure all over the place. Andrew Thomas out again. When is this guy ever going to be healthy for the Giants? It's time to say goodbye to him. Jackson Dart, I think's not really going to be fantastic either. I don't like Jackson Dart, but I know he had a great preseason, but every time they had a big game in Ole Miss, he lost. That's all I can tell you about Jackson Dart. That's all I really know. He's somewhat mobile. He's more mobile than what Russell Wilson looks like, but I don't know if he's going to be that great. Maybe he saves Daboll's job and they only win 4 or 5 games, but it looks like they got a bright future. I don't know. I thought they jumped way too early to get him. To be really honest, if you're going to trade back into the first round, Shedeur was a much more accurate passer, personally, but who knows if he's ever going to see the field either, right? So as we get into this game here with the Cowgirls and the Giants, Cowboys win this one. I think we love this play here. Cowboys -0.5 first quarter, 3 first half, 4.5 for the game. Dak for 244 plus passing yards. He would have hit this number last week if CeeDee Lamb wouldn't have dropped like everything that was thrown in his direction. It was CeeDee Lamb could have had 15 catches for 200 yards in that game if he catches the damn ball in the second half, especially. And then we get to the rest of the plays here. After Dak's 244, CeeDee Lamb 7+ catches, 77+ yards. I think he sees a lot. I think George Pickens is going to be more involved this week than he was last week. Hopefully he gets more than a couple catches and a PI call that gets him down the field. I don't know. Javonte Williams, we're going to hold off and see. Obviously, he got 2 touchdowns in week 1. That was a big week. The Eagles' defense didn't look spectacular in that game. But they look good enough. And to be really honest, for these big teams anyway, do you really want to be peaking week 1? Because you're not going to hold on to that for 20 weeks. It's a little early for some of these great teams to be playing like absolutely lights out football at this time. I don't think the Cowboys are definitely in that upper echelon where they're going to win 11 games or so. But, this is a team that has a chance to finish above 500. So important game for them. I think the Giants go to 0-2. Cowgirls win. Let's move on with life. Next game up, Browns, Ravens. This is our NFL Circa Survivor pick of the week. Would be the Baltimore Ravens 11.5-point favorite. We just need them to win on the money line for that. But I think they're also going to cover the number. I think the Ravens are going to walk in pissed off about losing that game and shooting themselves in the foot. They're at home against the Browns. Flacco is so slow, he could barely get away from the Bengals defense. What do you think the Ravens defense is going to do to him? They're going to break him in half. Dylan Gabriel, if you're the number 2 quarterback, you better be ready to play in this game, my friend, because they're going to be hunting Flacco's old rear end. Ravens -2.5 first quarter, 6.5 first half, 11.5 for the game. Ravens over 27.5 team total. Lamar for 206 plus passing yards. This line is steaming up on a lot of different boards. And to be really honest, Lamar's probably going to have to hit a majority of this in the first half, as I expect them to have a monster lead and not to be throwing much in the second half. Then we have Zay Flowers, 59 plus receiving yards. Flacco to throw a pick. Lamar 8 plus rush attempts. Lamar under 17.5 completions, as he normally is. Big play, Charlie. Jerry Jeudy, 54 plus receiving yards. Cedric Tillman, 40 plus receiving yards. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Hopkins for the Ravens, 2 plus receptions. Kyle Hamilton under 6.5 tackles plus assists. And that one there. Next game up. Let's talk about some LA Rams and Tennessee Titans. 1 o'clock Eastern time frame as well. Titans at home, 5.5-point dog, 41.5 total. So last week the Rams got really their defense came to play, held the Texans to 3 field goals. The offense did not play that great. Puka Nacua got crushed early, came back, was bleeding all over the place. He got his deal done. Texans defense was legit, as we thought they were. They pass rush all day. Stafford doesn't look fully healthy. I will say this. The Titans got after Bo Nix in game 1, caused some turnovers. The Titans, they couldn't run the ball. Pollard got stuffed to 60 yards. Cam Ward took too many sacks, but Cam Ward hit so many damn balls in hands that weren't caught. I can't blame that loss on Cam Ward. I thought he played, except for the few sacks where he just keeps sinking further and further back, where you're taking too big a loss. I thought he played pretty well. I mean, how many times can he hit guys in the hands and they don't catch the ball? Now, the problem was those were coming in fastballs when they didn't even give you quite that much heat on them. I understand that, but those receivers have to help out a young rookie quarterback like that as well. No side or total for us in this one. We're just going to play player props. Kyron Williams, under 7.5 yards, longest reception. Puka Nacua, over 24.5 yards, longest reception. Stafford, over 36.5 yards, longest completion. Kyron Williams, anytime touchdown. You better get on that before it gets out of control. Pollard, under 67.5 rush yards. Pollard, no touchdown. Kyron Williams, 78-plus rush yards. Stafford, no interception. Pollard, under 2.5 receptions. Stafford, under 32.5 pass attempts. Pollard, under 89.5 rushing and receiving yards in that game there. Let's get up to the next game, shall we? Still in that 1 o'clock Eastern time frame window. 49ers and the Saints. So New Orleans let us down last week. It was the only game that we had. We went 4-1 in Circa Millions, and the damn game we lost was on the hook with the Saints. We got 49ers favored by 3. Here's the deal with the 49ers. Brock Purdy out at least this week, probably multiple weeks. George Kittle hit the injury reserve list. He's out 4 weeks at a minimum. Mac Jones stepping in at quarterback. Now, when Mac Jones stepped in last year for Trevor Lawrence with the Jaguars, that offense actually started to cook. The question is, I saw Brock Purdy throw into triple coverage multiple times. Some underneath him, McCaffrey, and some over the top as well. He made some dumb decisions. When you're throwing into triple coverage, that means somebody was open and you're not seeing the field. I love Brock. He's from our area. He went to the same college I did. I like me some Brock Purdy, right? I don't think he's the best quarterback in the league. I think he's a good QB. I think he made a lot of dumb, boneheaded decisions, and they still figured out how to win on the road at the Seahawks. But Mac Jones, although he doesn't have the mobility, and not that Brock's extremely mobile, but Mac can throw the ball. He threw it to Brian Thomas Jr., looked really well. Ricky Pearsall looked like a star in the making for this team. McCaffrey's going to have to shoulder a lot of the load here. I think that should be able to be done here with the 49ers against the Saints. Give us the 49ers minus a half first quarter, 1.5 first half, 3 for the game. Juwan Johnson, though, for the Saints, 16-plus yards plus longest reception. Brandon Cooks, 2+ catches. Rattler, under 31.5 yards, longest completion. Mac Jones, 204+ passing yards. Olave, under 19.5 yards, longest reception. All the plays in that one for us there. Next game up, let's go to that Jaguars team we just talked about with the Bengals. So everybody was, I'm sure, on the overs on Joe Burrow, and they came way under. We told you last week Jamar Chase under. We're probably going to stay away. We're staying away from Jamar Chase this week because I don't think you can keep the $40 million wide receiver down for very long. Joe Burrow, we expect to throw a little bit more this week. The Jaguars defense did look real last week against the Panthers, but it was the Panthers. They were at home. Now they're on the road. They're getting 3.5. Some books already down to 3. I think this is we thought at the start, before the season started, the Jaguars have a chance to win the AFC South. Their defense is much better. They've got 2 young pass rushers. Their secondary is better than it was last year. If they can stay healthy on that side of the ball, they'll be okay. They added, obviously, Travis Hunter. They didn't really do much offensively week 1. Brian Thomas Jr. had a small week as well. They had a big week on the ground. Then they go trade Tank Bigsby, because they've got too many running backs that they like. So they pick up a couple future 5th and 6th, or 6th and 7th. I can't remember off the top of my head. But building picks for down the road. I'm going to tell you right now, we like the Jags in this spot on the road getting the points. I don't know if they win the game outright, but I think they keep it within a field goal. So the 3 in the hook is going to come into play in this one for us. So Jags plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. Joe Burrow, 6+ rushing yards because he's going to be running for his life. Cam Little for the Jaguars, 2+ field goals. BTJ, that's Brian Thomas Jr., 6+ catches, 70+ receiving yards. Burrow for 6+ yards, longest rush. So he's going to get the rush yards all in one play. Maybe he only runs a couple times. Strange, 3+ receiving yards in the first quarter for the Jags. Noah Fant, 3+ receptions. Trevor Lawrence under 22.5 pass completions in that one as well. They didn't have to throw the ball a lot last week. I think they will have to throw the ball some this week, and it'll be more down the field. I think they're still going to do a lot of play-action pass. They're going to try to run the ball, which they should be able to do against Cincinnati as well. Don't be surprised if the Jags try to really milk that clock quite a bit on that side. Next game up, Bears, Lions. This is a bad spot for the Bears, boys. The Lions come off of that drubbing to the Packers, 6-point favorite, 46.5 total. Almost want to play the over here as well, as Lions games tend to go over. But Ben Johnson coming back. Obviously, this is a real bad spot for the Bears. They needed desperately to win Monday night. They gave that game away. Now, if the secondary is still hurt like it was in game one, they're in big trouble. Not only that, they can't stop the run. They didn't stop the run much. Minnesota did run the ball pretty well against them. Detroit wants to run the ball. They're going to run the ball this week because they didn't run it last week worth of crap in this one. Let's give you all the plays in this game here. Lions, -0.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, 6 for the game. Anzalone, under 7.5 tackles plus assists. Gibbs, 16-plus rush yards in the first quarter. Gibbs, 4-plus catches. Odunze, under 45.5 receiving yards. Gibbs, 18-plus yards longest rush. Gibbs, 68-plus rush yards. DeAndre Swift, under 75.5 rushing receiving yards. They'll probably be down early. Laporta, 47-plus receiving yards. DJ Moore, 5-plus receptions. So a lot of plays in that particular game. I'm going to be honest with you. I will be shocked if the Lions don't win by 2 touchdowns. We feel pretty confident about that one. We almost made him the Circa pick, Survivor pick this week. Went with the Ravens instead. I need to save Detroit, if possible, for Thanksgiving weekend because you got to love Circa making Thanksgiving a weekend of its own to try to eliminate all the plays that they can. So let's get on to the next game, shall we? We got a lot to go through still. Seahawks, Steelers. So the Seahawks couldn't score this game in Pittsburgh last week against the 49ers. The Steelers defense, all they did was give up scores, 39.5 total. I think a lot of people are going to be trying to steam this up over. They just saw Pittsburgh score 30-plus points, right? I don't think they're going to do it. That Seahawks defense looked pretty solid against San Francisco. Mike McDaniel tends to get things going, right? He'll have that defense pretty solid. The question is Sam Darnold going to be able to do anything? They're not going to want Sam Darnold to do too much here, I don't think. I think they're going to try to run it, because that seems to be where the Steelers are having issues. They could not stop the Jets' run game whatsoever. Breece Hall, Justin Fields, Brandon Allen, they all had opportunities running, gashing that defense. This one, we still like the Steelers to win, but we've taken the spread out of play and playing money line. Steelers money line, first quarter, first half, and game. DK under 4.5 catches. Last week when Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball all over God's creation and he could barely get it, his targets were longer, but he didn't get a lot of them. So under 4.5 catches, he still might put up 80 yards. Hope he gets a touchdown because he's on a lot of our fantasy teams. But we got to be realistic on what we're seeing here. Under 4.5 receptions for DK. Then we get to Jonnu Smith, 4-plus catches, 31-plus yards. Gainwell under 29.5 rush yards, under 10.5 yards longest rush, under 7.5 yards longest reception, all for Gainwell. Kenneth Walker, 2-plus receptions in that one there as well. The next game up, let's get to it. Patriots-Dolphins. Patriots now getting 2.5 on the road at Miami. So this line was 1.5, now 2.5. Even though Miami got shellacked in Indianapolis, this getting steamed a little bit up on that side. I guess everybody worried about that Patriots offense. I did not look good last week. Let's be honest. Josh McDaniels offense back. The problem with Josh McDaniels offense is this. It's one of the more complicated offenses out there. It's not a simple offense. It's got a lot of fantastic stuff in it, but the problem is it seems like it needs multiple years to play out. That's not good for the Patriots. The defense for the Patriots gave up a boatload of passing yards to Geno Smith. Really? Geno? Okay. I don't like Geno. I'm not a fan of his. The good thing about Geno is he's normally good for an interception a week, so we keep cashing on that prop. But That all being said, no side or total for us in this one. Hunter Henry, 4+ receptions. Diggs, 4+ receptions. Tua, 33+ of pass attempts because they can't run the ball on anybody. Achane, anytime touchdown. Achane, 29+ receiving yards. Stevenson, 48+ rush and receiving yards combined. Next game up. We're finally off the early window. Let's get to those 4:05 Eastern time frame. Cardinals, Panthers. Cardinals, nice win. They covered. They had to go on the road to New Orleans. That's a game they normally blow. They're favored by 6.5 again in this one, 44.5 total. Panthers come off a game where they got absolutely just steamrolled in that game against the Jags on the road. Nice of the NFL to give the Panthers, 2 consecutive games on the road, right? Yeah, it seems like fun and fair. And that one there, no side or total for us in this one. Cardinals probably get this win. The question is, do they cover? Kyler Murray under 5.5 rush attempts. Benson under 8.5 rush attempts. Bryce Young under 19.5 completions. Xavier Legette under 3.5 receptions, under 34.5 receiving yards. Michael Wilson under 24.5 receiving yards. Bryce Young 16+ rushing yards. Let's see. Kyler Murray, no interception. Legette under 16.5 yards, longest reception. Wilson under 2.5 receptions. As he's throwing the ball to everybody but Michael Wilson because there's other people open. So why throw it to Michael Wilson, right? Next game up, also 4:05 Eastern time frame. Broncos and that vaunted defense on the road in Indianapolis against the reborn Daniel Jones after one game, and the Colts. All right, Colts, what? 1.5-point dog at home, getting no respect again. The Colts, I will say this, the Broncos, I don't know if they could have played worse. They lost the turnover battle, still won the game by 8 points, right, at home. Yes, it was against the Titans team that underperformed at best. But I kind of like Denver here again. I hate, as a Chiefs fan, hate to say it, but we do like the Broncos. Broncos money line, first quarter, first half in game. We do like Pittman, though, who had a great first half and didn't see a ball in the second half. They have another solid game, 19+ yards, longest reception. Bo Nix, 2+ passing TDs. Bo Nix to have a big play, over 37+ yard completion. Daniel Jones, 20+ completions because we expect a lot underneath. Jones under 26.5 rushing yards. Nix, 31+ passing attempts. Bo Nix, 20+ completions. Daniel Jones under 11.5 longest rushing attempt. Nix, 5+ rush attempts. Pittman, 45+ receiving yards. Pittman, 5+ receptions. Cortland Sutton, 5+ receptions as well. All right, as that 4 o'clock window is pretty light, right? But the big game, 4 o'clock window, is the Chiefs Eagles, 4:25 Eastern time frame at Arrowhead, Yeehaw Field. This line has flip-flopped twice. Chiefs are favored, Eagles favored. Chiefs are favored, Eagles favored. Eagles still favored currently 1.5, total of 46.5. So if the teams play like they did in week 1, this game is probably not going to be as much fun. A.J. Brown saw 1 catch. Chiefs couldn't move the ball in the first half. We're good in the second half, but couldn't stop anybody. Justin Herbert tore him up. I don't think the Eagles have any intention of throwing the ball as much as as the Chargers did. I think they plan on coming out and doing what they do best, which is run the ball, and when in doubt, run it some more. Jalen Hurts to run it, Saquon Barkley to run it, maybe Tanks Bigsby sees the show, Will Shipley to run it. I don't think they throw the ball a bunch here. And for the Chiefs side of things, they're going to have to throw it all over the place. And no question about it. Mahomes has to have a big day for them to win. I think the Chiefs are pretty ticked off coming into this one. Home field advantage does play here. Chiefs win this one straight up. Chiefs money line, first quarter, first half game. Mahomes for 245+ passing yards. Juju, 32+ receiving yards. Devontae Smith under 55.5 receiving yards. Hurts anytime touchdown in the first half. A lot bigger plus money rather than paying minus money. Mahomes, 25+ pass completions. Mahomes, 10+ yards, longest rush. Juju Smith-Schuster, 3+ catches. Hurts under 203.5 passing yards, as they should be able to run the ball. Quinion Mitchell under 3.5 tackles, not plus assists, tackles. in that one there. All right, now we get to Sunday Night Football. How does J.J. McCarthy get 2 primetime games in a row, Monday night and Sunday night? Falcons coming to town. They're getting 3.5, 44.5 total. Really, J.J. McCarthy? I understand you got 2 guys from last year's quarterback class, so maybe that's the deal. Penix had a fabulous week 1. If it wasn't for his kicker, they would have went to overtime, had a great chance to win. Bijan couldn't run the ball. Atlanta couldn't last week, but Tampa Bay is pretty stout against the run. The Vikings will allow some rush yards. With Bijan, I think, if the Falcons would actually give it to him a few times, that would be nice, besides in the passing game. Like I said, I think this game ends around 3-4, to be really honest, with the Vikings win. So we don't like the line, don't like the total. Bunch of player props one more time for us. Bijan, 97 plus rushing and receiving yards. Aaron Jones, 11 plus yards, longest rush. Bijan, anytime touchdown in the first half. Aaron Jones, 3 plus receptions. Bijan, anytime touchdown as well. So if he does go in the first half, we cash both plays. Bijan, 16 plus rush attempts. Bijan, 15 plus rushing yards in the first quarter. Hopefully he can bust just one run. Bijan, 26 plus receiving yards. He did have 100 in week 1. All right, then we get to the Monday night flavor, because everybody loves Monday Night Football. So much so that we've got 2 games. 2! All right, let's get to it. First game up, 7 o'clock Eastern time frame. Bucks, Texans. Not a good matchup here for the Texans, but I think they'll be okay being at home. But man, oh man, to face back-to-back weeks, you got the Rams and the Bucks. I hope you took out extra insurance for C.J. Stroud, because your offensive line that was supposed to be better was nowhere near being better in week 1. Now week 2, they're back at home. Maybe they're better this week. I hope so for his health, because otherwise this is going to be a long year again for C.J. in this one. So let's give you all the plays. Monday Night Football, the first game. Texans money line, first quarter or first half in game. Mike Evans, 5 plus catches. C.J. Stroud to throw a pick. Baker, 17 plus rush yards. Baker, 21 plus completions. Short game, right? And then the night game, AFC West battle. Chargers and the Raiders. Raiders at home getting 3. Total in this one, 46.5. So, obviously, the Raiders threw the ball extremely well against the Patriots. Couldn't run it for dog doo-doo. Ashton Jeanty, the top 5 pick, ran it 19 times for 38 yards. Folks, that's 2 yards a carry. That ain't going to get her done. And, in fact, I will tell you this. We're going under on Jeanty props until proven otherwise. I think they're going to try to run him a bunch. But the problem is their offensive line is hot garbage. They didn't really address that too much, I don't think, in the offseason. Brock Bowers, by the way, is a stud. He proved it again last week, 100 yards. Hopefully he's healthy. He did kind of twist the knee or ankle at the end of that game. They did get a win in week 1. This is a tough matchup. I think they're going to win, honestly. Something stupid's going to happen in this game. Herbert's either going to throw a couple picks or somebody's going to fumble it and give this thing to the Raiders. But we don't like it enough. Even though it's home dog Monday night, we don't like it enough for a side or a total. Just player props for us again. Geno Smith, by the way, will be an interception probably every week of the season. Geno Smith under 1.5 passing touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 5 plus catches. Jeanty under 69.5 rush yards. He rushed for 38 last week, folks, and they still got him at way too high at 69.5 rush yards. His receiving yards, which he caught, a couple balls for 8 yards, is still at 19.5, and under 90.5 rushing and receiving yards. Just the numbers are too big for Jeanty out of the chute. It's not that I don't think he's going to be a good back. I do. But the numbers are just too big out of the chute for him. That's all. All right, that's going to be a rundown of NFL Week 2 bets for us. Just a reminder, all of our shows sponsored by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. You can get a 7-day free trial. They think you're going to love it so much that you should. I use it. It's a fantastic tool. It helps with research and data points, gives me ideas on bets that I thought were good, and then they confirmed it. type of thing there as well. So check out Outlier 7-day free trial. You can get it in the YouTube channel page or in the comment section of every YouTube episode we do. And also the Discord channel available for all of you out there. If you don't want to do the research yourself, let us do it for you. Not only that, be with a couple hundred plus people that are like-minded by yourself that love sports and love sports wagering. And you can join in on all the fun there as well. Same 2 spots, YouTube channel page, end of every episode on YouTube as well. Check it out. Fantastic place to be. Love to see you there. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.